According to folklore, I am sat on a giant's grave, and below me is the Long Man of Wilmington, or the Wilmington Giant. I'm going to tell you the story of how this giant came to be buried here and commemorated in chalk on the hill just down there. So the story goes there was once a giant who lived up on this hill. He was ferocious and he liked the taste of lamb and human. And one day, a shepherd and his flock were up here on the downs grazing because it had the best grazing land. And only those risking an encounter with the giant would go up there to graze their sheep. The giant caught wind of this shepherd. He saw him. Giant's eyes were very powerful. 40 times the size of a human being, giants were said to be. So these eyes were massive, massive, powerful things. And he saw the sheep and he stormed over to them. The shepherd hid in a bush. While the giant was bending down to pick up the sheep, the shepherd had an idea. With him, he had a huge wheel of cheese, and he thought, I'll give this to the giant, and the giant won't eat my sheep. So he said to the giant, stop, please don't eat my sheep. Eat this cheese instead. And the giant thought, well, I'll eat the cheese, then I'll eat the shepherd. And he tried the cheese. He put the whole wheel in his mouth in one go. And the shepherd could see on the giant's face it was the most delicious thing he'd ever tasted. And the shepherd said to the giant, if you want more of that, I can get some for you, but you have to let me go, otherwise I won't be able to get you any. I'll be dead. So the shepherd was allowed to go free, and the giant lived off cheese, and the locals would come and bring him cheese, and he was gorging himself on it. And now over there on the other side of the valley was another giant called the Furl Giant, and he was also a ferocious character. He had seen what the Long Man was doing, and he didn't like it. Humans and giants are not supposed to mix, he thought. And one day, while he saw the Long Man stuffing his face with cheese, the anger and I think jealousy of the Furl Giant got the better of him, and he searched for a huge rock and he hurled it across the valley. 3 miles it travelled, all the way from Furl Beacon over there, flying across the valley and just skimming the Long Man's head by an inch. The Long Man looked over and saw the Furl Giant baring his teeth and flexing his muscles, bending down to pick up yet another stone. The Long Man looked around him. What could he throw? There was no rocks here. He had an idea. With his huge hand, he burrowed into the earth, and deep within the earth's core pulled out some rocks, massive ones the size of a cottage, and threw them back at the Furl Giant. But the Furl Giant, he saw them coming. He was quick, he was nimble. He'd been feeding off of lamb and human. He wasn't slow and fatty like the Long Man had become. The Long Man had become soft from all the cheese. The Furl Giant took yet another boulder, a huge one, and again, missing this time by a millimeter. The Furl Giant was a good aim, and the Long Man started to throw rocks back, and in the valleys, the people below could see these rocks flying through the sky, and they had no idea what to make of them. After hours of back and forth, the Furl Giant finally hit the bullseye straight in the Long Man's head, killing him dead there and then. The next day, the villagers came up here to give cheese to the Long Man, and they found his huge body stretched out across the downs. They decided they would bury him here, and this is how he ended up, right here. This is the giant's grave, and they commemorated him with a carving on the hill, and that is what we now know as the Long Man of Wilmington. Now this is, of course, not a giant's grave. It is a Neolithic long barrow, and below the carving is much, much newer. It dates from the Tudor period, but I think I like the story of the Long Man better. This is a land of giants, and it's important that we remember these stories.